Welcome, 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 welcome. Da 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 da. Welcome, 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 welcome. Da 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 da. Welcome, 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 welcome. Da 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 da. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. I hope we're doing well. So this morning, I'm supposed to be going to my mom's school to do something that we call Read Across Jamaica Day. Did I see this bump? Oh, God. Anyway, doing something called Read Across Jamaica Day. It's Education Week for her school. I guess for some schools, for most schools. I really don't remember how this goes. But I'm actually having the privilege to go and read to some of the kids. So I'm hoping to get some behind the scenes as well. We're doing that. I'm so excited for that and to see how it goes. So first time doing it. I've been a part of the program before, but not in that capacity. So yeah, let's see how that goes. And I'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Going to my school today to do reading to a class as we do Read Across Jamaica Day. All right, so let's see how she will do.
How you feel about it?
How do I feel about what?
About me coming to read.
You know, if I could keep you at school, I'd keep you.
All right. Cut the cameras. Goodbye.
I'm referring to these three creatures right here. They look what I look at. They look funny, not true. They look how weird, not true. You want them to be your friends?
No, miss, me that give me nightmare.
Nightmare? Oh, me too. I feel like it'll give me nightmare too.
No, nightmare.
But when we talk about hunchback, this is what we're referring to.
Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, and I just wanted to come back a little bit from what would have happened yesterday. Reading to the kids was a beautiful experience. I went to an all-boys class. Right. But though some were hyperactive and stuff, it was still beautiful to just see how they interpret a story. The book that we read was The Hunchback of Notre Dame. The Hunchback of Notre Dame. And, just explaining to them certain words, explaining to them some morals of the story. Even the teacher was explaining some morals of the story of just not succumbing to the labels that people want to put on you, not just simply sticking with what somebody says, but sometimes taking a risk, not believing everything that somebody says concerning an experience or other people. But some things you have to break out of, some things you have to try on your own, some things you have to risk doing for the first time and going against the norm, going against what people say, going against what people have proclaimed over you, and realize that there's more to you than what meets the eye. Yes, we're talking about appearance, but also to remember that appearances can change, but like the one thing that remains is character. Like the one thing that remains is core values, and let it always be that you're trying not just to see the good in people, but you are being good to people overall. Yeah, so I always don't mind The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I believe I watched the movie, the cartoon, whatever it was at that time. So I don't think I read the book. I think I first watched the cartoon, right? But today's Teachers Day. So if I have any teachers that are watching, but we can't talk. If I have any teachers that are watching this, whether past, present, soon to be, future teacher, happy Teachers Day. The world is a better place with you in it. To all my good teachers, to all my great teachers, to all my hardworking teachers, I mean like teachers who pour, teachers who are intentional about giving back to the community, giving back to their students, building the future generations, marking them with purpose, with light, with correction, with discipline, telling them of their potential and working to help them to fulfill that potential, pushing them and stretching them and letting them know that they can do so much more than what some of them are doing, not allowing them to give the bare minimum, but always pushing them beyond what they have put as their cap or their limit. Happy Teachers Day to you. The world is truly a better place because of you. And for the teachers that are coming up, please don't drop the ball. Please don't drop the standard. Please don't just go into the profession just because. Don't go into the profession just because you want some money. it's not an easy profession. It is one that is so purposeful. It's one that you need to not just be called to it, but you need to be strategic in it. You need to have grace for it, because generations change and you want to ensure that you're always benefiting the generation ahead. So happy Teachers Day to you, and I pray that the Lord continues to grace you, bless you, favor you in all that you do. So I was gonna say something, but I think I might need to leave now because time is going and I don't want to be late. So I think I'm gonna head out. And catch up with you guys a little later. I really want today to be a creative day for me, along with like my regular work, but I really want to get some creative work done today. I'm working on creating just overall, like even when I'm not creating for something, even when I might not be in the mood for it completely, what I've been learning in the book I've been reading is sometimes you just need a small start. Like sometimes you need to pair it with something, sometimes you need to habit stack, and if I'm using that terminology, I think some persons will know which book I'm talking about. Sometimes you need to make it easy, sometimes you need to make it satisfying. And one thing about me is that when I'm making content, when I'm creating, I do feel fulfilled. So yeah, it's just something I need to invest in more, and that's actually what I wanted to talk to you guys about. But I'll just leave you this nugget before I head on the road. Invest in what you love, invest in what you're called to do, invest in what makes you feel purposeful as well. It's not just enough to just be like, oh yeah man, I'm in this job, or I'm in this profession, or I'm doing this as a hobby. If you know you're called to it, invest in it. Like, don't just wing it, don't just be lackadaisical about it, because that can take you so far no more. I believe God favors us, yes, for sure, but he also gives us wisdom, he gives us resources, and with those resources we advance. With those resources he can bless what we put on the table. Like he provides the way, he gives us the raw materials, and then he expects us to do our part, and then he can bless it. Let's not try to just give God whatever is left. Like, let's actually be diligent about what he's called us to do. So whatever that looks like, whether it's a hobby, whether it's your 9 to 5, whether it's entrepreneurship, whether it is a side hustle, my God, whatever the area is, invest in it and make it better. Let's operate in a spirit of excellence and not nonchalance. All right, for real now, bye. Honestly, every day I fight. I'm gonna say every day I fight for my life, but I don't. It's more so just, big animals are interesting for me because there's a cow that I got to pass. I know, you lying. See? Every day I fight for my life. Right now there, there's a dog. So I'm going to walk through my aunt. Because me just cannot be bothered. Oh. Alright, hey y'all, good morning. Happy Thursday. I hope y'all are well. I hope you're doing great. I hope you're fine. I already know it's a background. I could always have something in it. Like, I have just come to the conclusion I can never get rid of them. Whether it's bike, truck, car, I need to just, get a secluded place and then, just far, far away. Anyway, I just wanted to hop in and say good morning. Yeah, as I've been saying to you guys, I kind of want to get into the habit of taking you guys really and truly along my weeks, getting better at somewhat storytelling. I don't know, that's a working at the vlog them, but actually letting you guys feel like you're a part of the vlogs instead of me just popping up and like, hey guys, I'm going da 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 da. Sure, but like, as I say, we're getting to the place of FaceTime call. I feel like you're talking to your online cousins, okay? But today. First of all, I don't know if I mentioned it in the other book. I am literally finishing the book and I want to tell you guys about the book a little bit. I don't think I'll share a lot about it. Just go and read it. But for anybody that wants to build new habits, for anybody that is sucking at continuing a habit of pairing it, whatever it is, of just being having like some stick-to-itiveness, is that the word? I think so. But having some stick-to-itiveness and is having a hard time forming new habits, changing bad ones, etc. I've been reading this book. Big up to my friend Celia for buying this book for me. If you're watching this, Celia, thank you so much. But I'm almost finished reading the book. I'm at chapter 20, and I think this is coming close to the end. It has been a good book so far, I'm not gonna lie. It has really simplified like forming habits. It has simplified the need for good habits. It has simplified, put them into 4 laws. Basically, it has given tips on how to pair certain habits that you'd want to accomplish with things that you already do. So things that, for example, it mentions habit stacking. So doing something that you know you need to do along with doing something that you want to do. So you kind of might give yourself the caveat or the condition of, all right, when I do X, then I'll do Y. And the more consistently you do that, is the more you build the habit. So it has really broken it down to simpler form. It broke it down to 4 laws in forming good habits. Let's see if my recall is good. Hello. But in forming new habits, it has to be obvious. I'm not doing this in order, so if I am, God is good. But it has to be obvious, it has to be easy, satisfying, and rewarding. And then they have something along the lines of like cues, reinforcement, some. But those are the 4 laws. It has to be easy, it has to be obvious, easy, satisfying, and rewarding. And truthfully, it's the truth. And you're going to do the inversion of that for bad habits that you want to break. It has to be hard, it has to be hidden, it has to be unsatisfying, it has to lack a reward. Because the harder it is to do something, is the less likely you're going to want to do it. And it also talked about how to, it's not necessarily stay motivated, because that's not what is in the book. What he's teaching is that the most successful persons are not those who are constantly motivated. It's those who have gotten or have mastered the art of being comfortable with being bored. You know, like still doing the mundane, the monotonous things, adding variety to it, yes, but still, even you don't feel like it, still pushing through, because the reward of the habit is greater than, you know, the feeling of it at the time. So yeah, I'd advise anybody to read the book if you're trying to improve, you know, good habits, break bad habits, form new habits, and you really want to have a breakdown. Like you need to see it plain. Because something that Celia did and I really appreciate it is she also got me like a small notebook with it, so that I could actually write out like pointers from the book, or just make it applicable to my life. So even when it was talking about the habits or habit stacking, I literally could write down what I do on a daily basis, and from like step by step and put it in where they had the things. And they also have templates online. So yeah, that's what I'll say. And last thing before I go, because another thing is like sometimes I feel like, and I'm going to be very honest, sometimes I know I'm a talker. I've always been a talker from day one. But sometimes I feel like, oh God, if I'm going to do a talk at a vlog, like, are y'all actually going to watch? Are y'all going to listen? Are y'all going to comment? Are y'all going to find it interesting? But again, it's just learning that one, what I'm talking is not nonsense. I truly believe I give value in any way, shape, or form. And I believe y'all engage and y'all love it, because y'all be watching and y'all be coming back. So thank you. I'm going to catch up on some work and yeah, hopefully get into editing this vlog. Oh God, and probably some other short form content, but I'll keep you guys posted. But I hope you guys have a great day whenever you're watching this. If you're watching it in the night, I hope you have a restful night. I could catch you later. Bye. Alrighty, y'all. So I am contemplating this. I guess this is what I am contemplating going for a walk. I've always kind of liked the idea of it of a evening walk, to be very honest. I hardly ever do it, and I'm gonna just go out in the mornings when it's, you know, still kind of dark, coming on to sunrise and stuff like that. But I haven't been able to walk this week, and I kind of felt like I just wanted to go for a walk and just clear my mind, and also just be able to stretch my legs a little bit. I sit for majority of the day, but it's still kind of bright. Like, it's still kind of bright. It's like, oh Lord, is it gonna get a little bit darker soon? Maybe, because I think it's currently maybe like 5:20 by now, or close to that time. So I'm just like, should I go? Should I not? I probably might go because I already have on my clothes. So let's see what happens, shall we? Alright, y'all, so I am back from the walk. And it was refreshing in a way. I wasn't like walking at my normal pace, but the good thing is not just to get it done, but even to just know that I might not have been in like the fastest or the best frame of mind to just be like, yeah man, I'm going to exercise. And so I just thought as I'm gonna take some time just with me, and it's still helping me. So yeah, that little reframe was good. I was able to at least 20 minutes and come back, and I'm happy for that. No, the only thing that was on my mind, which I was back and forth between like, alright, should I do a reel with this or should I just talk about it here? And I might do both. You know, why do we choose? Allowing the Lord to write our love story. Now, I have been more reserved. Before, you could ask anybody, I was always talking about relationship as, you know, always giving advice, as always the person that loved to watch love videos, movies. For the mere fact that Dear Future Wife is one of my favorite podcasts, I should tell you. But I kind of fell back, like reserved myself a little bit from talking about it for various reasons that eventually I'll share, just not right now. But it was a thought that was so strong on my heart, where, and more than likely it's the Lord really talking to me, but I felt like sharing with you guys, allowing God to write your love story. I think a lot of times we can try to write our own love stories, or we say that we are surrendering it to the Lord, but then when push comes to shove, we are really the one that's trying to remain in control. We're trying to figure out the outcome of the situation. We're trying to make it work, or we're trying to make it not work. You know, we're trying to almost self-preservation a lot of the times. When we're called to be in relationships and marriage, it's oftentimes to die to oneself. And it's even in the tension, even in the hard moments, even in the uncertainty, even in the, God, is this really you? You know that way they're like, is this really you? Like, I ain't so sure no more. Like, is this really you? Bringing it back to God, and then like asking him for strategies, asking him, all right, God. There's something my friend said, even on the Let's Talk Ministries page. If you're not following there, follow the page. But there's something that my friend said, and it stuck with me, in the sense of asking God daily how to love this person, because everyday love might look different. You know, it might require more patience this morning versus another morning. It might require long suffering. It might require biting your tongue and not necessarily saying what you really want to say. It might require kindness. It might require consideration. It might require just being still with them. It might require having a shoulder for them. It might require giving them space and waiting until they've processed enough, and knowing that they're coming back to discuss it, but just when they're in a better frame of mind. Like, but yeah, sometimes love will look different each day, and really and truly, are you willing to adjust? Are we willing to adjust and go with the word of the Lord? and go with God's guidance, or are we more trying to be selfish in this moment? Because truthfully, while self-preservation is really trying again to preserve the self, to protect the self, it is a form of selfishness. If we think deeply about it, it is a form of selfishness, because while you're trying to protect yourself, you're also limiting yourself, and you might also hurt the other person. I'm not saying to be a doormat. I'm not saying to let people walk up on you. I'm not saying to just be out here and to let people do what they want to do. But really and truly analyze the reason for the self-preservation, and if that's something that can be talked about. As somebody mentioned to me, you know, the anticipatory anxiety that comes with that versus the actual evidence of the action coming to pass. So is it that you're anticipating for the person to disappoint you, you're anticipating for the person to leave, anticipating for the person to misunderstand you, you're anticipating for the person to, you know, abandon you, reject you, run away, you know, meet you with hostility? Or is it that you have evidence to say this is what they're going to do based on like past actions, based on patterns or stuff like that? And is this person even aware of this? You know, is it something that, as I said, can be talked about? But overall, trusting the Lord with your story and knowing that the things that you've been through previously does not have to dictate the future that's in front of you. What happened in your past can be lessons for the present and can be changed for the future, you know. But yeah, that was just a thought that was on my heart, because a lot of us can get caught up in the whole thing. Oh, I'm trusting the Lord, or I'm in my waiting season. And while that might be true and has some facts to it, sometimes we are the reasons why we still remain in that season. It's not because persons aren't trying or persons don't want to. For a female, it's not that persons may not want to pursue, but how you're presenting. And I'm not just talking about appearance and looks and blah blah blah. I'm talking about like your character. I'm talking about your availability. I'm talking, do you put yourself in spaces where there may be potential, you know, eyes on you that you'd actually want? Because eyes from the wrong person is just as bad. Okay, it's actually quite annoying. Alright, let me wrap up this before me now know what else with that. But I think that's so important, because for some of us, we can hear stories of just how people stuck together and how they have gone through so many things and their partner stuck with them, and you know, they were just there to listen, to guide, to comfort, to just meet them where they're at. And it's like, God, I know I ain't no Tasmanian devil, so like, what is going on? Like, hello? You know, like, it can feel like, God, am I that hard that somebody can't stick around? Or am I that hard that somebody can't find me? Hello? You know, but it really is God's timing. And I know that sounds so cliche, but I truly believe, and I'm truly holding on to the fact that when the Lord sends that person for you, it will be the right time. And I've seen that with a couple of persons in my life, and I've tied the two together, and I'm like, God, that's crazy, you know, because it came at the time when they needed them the most. And I think that's just the truth. Like, they will come at the time that you need them the most. The important thing is to be ready for them. And when I mean to be ready, I mean like to receive them. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It won't be. There are going to be some hiccups, some bumps, some quarrels, some disagreements, but the consciousness of like, I have a resolve about you and I ain't going nowhere. You know, like, I'm not going anywhere. You are the one the Lord has called me to love. I'm not going nowhere. Hello, anywhere you go, and I'm going too. And especially in the dating, you know, something somebody said to me that's very important is, even in dating, watch how they treat you when you are not yourself. do they treat you like Christ? And for example, this is well, it goes both sides, okay? But do they treat you like Christ? Is this how Christ has called them to love you? Is this the characteristics that's shaped in the Bible surrounding how they're supposed to love you? So I think there's a lot to take into consideration, but overall, when the Lord provides the person for you, it will be at the right time. And it will be when you can receive it. And even if you can't fully, I do believe again that He's graced somebody for us. So wherever we are, they're willing to meet us in it. And if they're willing to work through it, then we both can grow together. So this felt like a whole ramble, but I pray that it made sense and that you guys got something out of it. If you did, please comment it below. I'd be happy to hear your thoughts, you know, if y'all can relate to this, or I'm just alone out in the streets, you know. But yeah, I'll catch y'all later. I feel like I need to end out this vlog because it's not vlogging how I want to vlog, okay? It's really not vlogging how I want to vlog. So I might end this out probably tomorrow. It's not going the way I want it to go, but I really want to get a vlog out to you guys, and I pray that it still gives you substance. Okay, bye. So reading to the kids were reading to the kid. Is that a cat or is that a dog? Look like a dog, you know.